What's up, man? It's MicCheckM.I.A, man, checking in, let y'all know to check out the MIA podcast, man. Voice of the city, man. If you're from Hinesville and they get you home, man, you somebody. MicCheckM.I.A, I'm out.
So we back. This is your boy Conrad, MicCheckM.I.A, and we back in here, man. London B ain't here. My boy Tone always lurking in the back.
Yes, sir.
And that's how we do it. We got my special guest today, our special guest today, former Minnesota Gopher.
Oh, I appreciate you.
Bradwell Institute.
You know.
You know what I'm saying? Representing.
You know?
My man Marcus Singletary.
Yes, sir.
What's going on,
man? Blessed. Highly favored, man. Blessed. Great to see you.
All day long.
I'm excited to be here with you guys. Man, it feels so good to be home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it feels good to be home and just feel the energy from my dad, feel the energy from my cousins, you know, feel the energy from my peers, you know, some people I haven't seen in a long time. So, man, I'm blessed, bro. I'm just counting my blessings, walking in gratitude.
That's what's up, man. So, I mean, you know, first thing first, man, you know, growing up here in Hinesville, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of, you know, people doing things right now, you know what I'm saying? Yourself, you know what I'm saying, are doing a lot of things which we're going to get into. But we're going to get into growing up in Hinesville because a lot of people that's from Hinesville that are professionals in their own right and play at higher levels of sports and stuff like that. They generally say the same thing about growing up in Hinesville. I just
what is that per se? What do they say?
I wanted to kind of see if you was going to say the same thing. Well,
okay, well, just ask me the question. Go ahead.
All right, so it's like this. Okay, what do you think it is about growing up in Hinesville as an athlete or in Southeast Georgia that makes those athletes, like, I'm not going to say superior, but just you have the ability to move to that next level? What you think pushes and drives the kids in this area to be able to do that?
Well, I can speak from my experiences. Now, from my experiences with the community, you know, Hinesville has always been a special place, okay? And Hinesville has always had special talent. Now, the driving force to get to where we were going, I believe it was always a competitive edge here, a competitive nature. I looked at some of your interviews, you guys' interviews, and you spoke about, you know, I saw y'all had 380 on here, and he was speaking about, you know, SummerSlam. I was one of those kids at SummerSlam. You know, I actually played for Coach Ernie, you know, God bless him.
God bless,
that was my experience. You know, I started playing basketball at Lyman Hall, you know, outside of Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church.
The long court.
Oh, the long court. You know, shooting like this, that was how I learned, and I started formulating it. And then you had the church league. The church league was out in the woods.
Yeah.
So it used to go down out in the woods. So, you know, competing against Midway, Gum Branch, Little Wissy, Savannah, Brunswick, McIntosh, Camden County. I heard you reference Schumann.
Yeah.
So when you compete in Schumann, I'm just speaking about basketball per se. When you play basketball in Schumann, it was a dog-eat-dog world. It was, you don't just get to stay on the court. You had to be hungry.
Yeah.
And there was guys that was good enough to play on the high school teams, but for whatever reason, whether they was in the streets or they couldn't play basketball per se, they was like that. They was really like that.
Yeah. So you referenced what I was saying is that most of them say from Freddie to Jordan McCray to a host of them that's been on here, that dog.
Yeah, well, you know, I seen a lot of dogs though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about God bless him, Flip from BV. You get what I'm saying? Ralph, BJ. I can name the whole arsenal. You had on Sundays yourself, me, Aaron Milton, Antoine Pagans, Curtis Allen, Brandon Woods. You had Torian Jackson. You had Lazarius, Zeke. You had Ivan. You had Coach Jesse in there. You had Cuz in there. You had Will Lewis in there. You had Arkelio in there. You had, man, you want me to keep going? You had LJ in there.
You ain't even scratched the surface.
You had EJ in there. You hear me, man? Yeah. I got a Liberty list. I got a Bradwell list, and then I got a list where these individuals didn't play no sports at all. So it's kind of hard to have conversations, and then you don't include all those names that aren't being included.
It is. And even my boy, man, Curtis.
Yes, sir.
You know, he's one of them guys.
Shout out to Yellow. Yeah, Shout out to the Hearst ambassador. You know what I mean? It's been God. You know, so I got a lot of love for a lot of different people, but a lot of different people don't know different things because it wasn't something where you had to be loud about it. It was more so we all, whether it was Liberty, Midway, Gun Branch, the Ville, there was some kind of love there. You see what I'm saying? There was some kind of unity front where we would come and we would compete, but it didn't really get carried or out of hand. So we were centering that energy. You see what I'm saying? So that had a lot to do about going to that next level as well.
True. Now I believe that.
And then the coaching too, man. I mean, you know, I would like to compliment, you know, Coach Jesse, you know what I mean? A Hinesville pillar, you know, shout out to the Hinesville Kings. You know, one of the original Kings.
The Jet Ray.
Yeah, the Jet Ray. You hear me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him. You know, the whole Watautville. See, well, you got to know the history.
You got to know the history.
You got to know the history. You know, that's that Ville City funk.
Oh man, you touched on that.
Yeah. So when I saw, look, I'm 37, but when I saw 380 up here and he was referencing A-Mud and him, well, you can catch it live in the Ville, man. You hear me? Yeah. I used to bump that because I lived in the Ville. So I'm from Airport Road. You know, shout out to Airport Road, but some of my time was spent in Watautville. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I had to stay over there. You see what I'm saying? Just chilling. You know, dad overseas, so I gotta stay in Watautville. It is what it is. Yeah, it is. You see what I'm saying? But then that allowed me to be relational and other people to see me. You can't be afraid to be relational. Nah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, I kind of figured that was gonna, you know, come out, man, because your time frame is that 2001 time frame.
Yes, sir. Came out 05. So from that 2001 to 05, I feel like, yes, Hinesville, Liberty County in itself, because let's be honest, Liberty County High School ended up going to win championships. You see what I'm saying? And so the talent has always been here. It's been about bringing that talent together. And it's hard to do that when you got a Liberty and a Bradwell.
Yeah, that made it difficult.
Oh, and the private schools, because people go to private schools too. You feel me?
When it split, that made it a little bit more difficult. I guess Brad was more of a powerhouse before Liberty. Kind of came along.
Well, you know, Liberty was coming along. I got to shout out, you know, one of my close friends, Cedric Dickerson. You know, he came out 98.
With me.
With you. You get what I'm saying? He was like that. That Liberty track, you know, he always be telling me, man, Melanie Drive, man, Liberty County Panthers. He's always giving me that Liberty. So I got to show love there. You get what I'm saying? So they always had elite beings. But per se, to me, when I look at the grand scheme of things, I'm looking more at the schools per se. I feel like being a coach and a trainer for 12 years now, this is my 12th year. We didn't have the IQ. When I say IQ, Coach Jones was a great basketball coach. He gave the IQ, but I'm talking about to take you to the next level, to be able to see 5 different plays. See, everybody couldn't work with Coach Jesse. You see what I'm saying? So to be able to be around a coach that can actually do like a parent, put you in position and shoot you in the direction that you're supposed to go, you didn't necessarily get that. Or to be able to manage the psychological of having that stress on the court, but being able to not fold, but make something out of that. You see what I'm saying?
Figure your way out.
Figure it, but channel the energy.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I always credited Jesse for him and Derek Mitchell. Probably be surprising to some people from my time frame. They probably think I referenced some other people, but it was those two guys that made me into a point guard.
Wow.
It was just watching them. I seen Jesse get a guy was physically on him because he played college ball and he heard so much about Jesse and he was just physically on Jesse. Didn't want Jesse to get nothing, challenging him. And Jesse passed his way to a victory. Like, he was like, man, I ain't got to score. And he was telling him this the whole time. And I don't have to score. And he kept passing and just dimed his way to winning.
Because psychologically, right?
Yeah.
Here we go. If someone takes a play away from you, a move away from you, what's your counter?
Yeah.
So, how many people are on the court with him?
It's 10, but he got 5. He got 4 guys.
So he got 4 other guys.
Yeah,
so if you're going to minus me out, okay, let me be selfless. If I know that you're their number one guy, I'm going to wear you out on the offensive side. So when it's time for you to be on offense, you're exhausted. And if you take me away, there's 4 other options. Hey, fellas, you got to believe in yourself, fam. Hey, look, I'm going to attack the cup. Be ready. Or if you cut, I'm going to see you, fam. I attack, sag, make everybody sag on me, dish it off. See, now I made everything collapse. That's basketball talk real quick. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I learned that just sitting in Newman.
Period.
As a kid, I was like an 8th grader.
Right.
And I was going to the 9th grade. I had just really started playing organized ball. I seen them do that, and I was like, man, I could do that. And I was a point guard like in a year. Like a year later. But getting back to saying yourself, man, you went to Bradwell, you played basketball.
Well, I played basketball, football, and I ran track. I started playing football in the 11th grade.
Oh man, really? You started kind of late.
Yeah. Early on, and I can speak to that. When I first got into high school, I wasn't focused per se. It was new. It's new. It's like you come out of middle school, you get into high school, and they say your first year is very important. The first year is very important because it can make or break. Yeah. But that isn't to say you can't
come back.
Yeah. But it's better to just put yourself in a position where you don't have to come back per se. Yeah. So the track was early on. And the track built me up. So I ran in the 200, the 400, 4x1, 4x4, and I high jumped. And then in basketball, I played the 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in football, I played corner, safety, and I was a return man. And I played receiver, but my senior year, they just wasn't allowing that. Yeah. And then when I graduated, I think we had in our school, we had like 2,000 kids at that time at Bradwell. So I was Mr. Athletic in the Bradwell Institute. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I like doing this in this interview and this platform because outside of Richard LeCount, I haven't seen a 3-sport stud.
Yeah, you playing multiple positions and everything. I mean, that's, it wasn't too many 3-sport guys.
I haven't seen it in Hinesville or Liberty County. No. I haven't seen it in 19 years. I've been out 19, 20 years. I haven't seen it outside of Rich. Shout out to him, holding that down. Yeah. He was a monster. You see what I'm saying? And it was impactful. So to me, that counts. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You can go look at his numbers and see it. I think his first high jump was a 6'6". You see what I'm saying? I think said that told me that, but we had looked at it. I'm just referencing because I've always been a fan of Hinesville. You know what I'm saying? You mentioned Jordan, you've mentioned Richard, you had Rico, you had Raekwon, you had Will Lewis. Shout out to Oric, being the first draftee. It's all love. I always paid attention to the Ville and understand what's going on in the Ville because you always want to see the 9-1 Deuce win. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, we like that. Yeah, all the way.
I most definitely want to see it win.
Yes,
and yeah, you're right. They are like that, you know what I'm saying, around here, man. It's I always felt like it was kind of untapped, you know what I'm saying? But, they always manage to find players, here. But.
Well, it's untapped from a perspective of, with the coaching, getting into coaching on the recruiting trail, a lot of coaches didn't really want to make that ride to Southeast Georgia. But Southeast Georgia, looking at the grand scheme of things and being in the market for 12 plus, well, Southeast Georgia has the better football. flat out.
Yeah.
I'll challenge anybody with that.
Mm-hmm.
The coaching per se
might be different
in Atlanta than it is in Southeast Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
But pound for pound, man, I'm putting my money on Southeast Georgia, and I'm definitely putting my money on Hinesville, Liberty County.
Yeah, I mean, you got the country boys, man.
And we like that. Them country boys on the rise. They better go, they better go back and listen to some of them boys, Phil Mob and them, because the country where it's at, man, and you can really thrive and make something and make a true path, but you got to have a vision for your life.
Mm-hmm.
And with that vision, you gotta understand it got to be God ordained.
Yeah.
Or it's gonna be chaotic.
Yeah.
And then if you don't internally work on yourself, right? Because you can't ask for things and then they overtake you and then you're not prepared for them. It's better to endure, right? Be stretched if you say you want to be an ego. So then when I'm in front of Conrad, I've had 1,000 reps.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's not organic. It doesn't seem forced. You see what I'm saying? And I think in church today, me and my pops went to church today. Shout out to my dad. The message was about not skipping a step. You can't skip steps because if you skip a step in that process, you might miss out on something. So that's a learning curve. So then that's a step that you could have got, but because you wanted to rush the process, you couldn't develop what you were supposed to be.
True that. So after high school, speaking of, putting God first and doing things, challenging yourself, what made you choose Minnesota as a landing spot for yourself?
I didn't choose it. It chose me.
Oh, all right.
I didn't choose it. At that time, coming out in 2005, this is beautiful. That's a beautiful transition in the sense of, let's talk about trials. So why Minnesota? Well, at that time when I was coming out, I graduated from Bradwell, but I didn't pass my science graduation test by 1 point.
That was a killer back then. That graduation test was a murderer,
man. I was sick. I was devastated, dog. But you know what? I was devastated in a sense, but I believe that had to happen in order for me to grow into what was meant for me to become. And what I mean by that, the maturity.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, male or female, have the talent, but they don't have the maturity to match the talent. So it's not seasoned right.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
You're right.
It's bland.
Yeah.
And we don't want that. And so I was bland. And so I had to go through a process to get seasoned. And in that seasoning process, I had to see my peers look at me and say, man, dang, dog, you ain't gonna graduate? And then, one thing about adversity, and you can look this up in the Coastal Carrier, I said, adversity, it either make you or break you, but you gotta approach it. So I went to the graduation, I faced adversity, I looked at all my peers graduate, I listened to a lot of people laugh, and they do a lot of different things because some people think that that's your end goal, but that ain't really your end goal, not when God involved. Yeah, not when God involved in your heart. The heart matters. So I wrote a lot of different schools. Shout out to Miss Clay. Shout out to my dad. Shout out to Coach Jesse. Shout out to Leonard Hall. Those was my circle to help me go to the next level despite the adversity that I was going through because I needed that support.
Yeah, the support you needed, yeah.
Because that was a time where I would say it was an adversarial time. It was like losing a championship, man. How do you respond to that? You gotta look it in the face and you gotta get back in the gym that night. That night you gotta get in there.
Yeah, you can't wait.
I remember being a kid in high school, fam, and we lost a rebound margin to Wayne County. We beat them. We blew them out by 20. We came back at midnight. They don't do this kind of stuff no more. We came back at midnight. On the line. Shout out to Coach Jones. On the line.
Oh, yeah. He ain't playing.
Huh? Oh, yeah. We was running, gassers.
Yeah, gassers.
And you had 19 seconds. Y'all do the math on that. 19 seconds to run suicides up the court. I think max was 21. And if you didn't make it, you had to do it over. So when you talk about just, reiterating and double backing real quick, what was that edge? Well, that edge was we always wanted to get better. This ain't even about me. We always wanted to get better. You lost that game? Well, I'm hungry. You want to, shoot me? Man, hey, look. Man, mark his name out, bro. Slide his, you know how they used to do? Slide his name out and put my name right there. Oh, you off? Hey, you off this game, fam? And you can't trump. You ain't gonna trump. It's like 8 people in here now. So if you try to trump somebody, then that might not go well. So just let it be.
Let it be, man.
Just let it be. Hey, look, it just sign back up. It used to be like that. Stay off the rims, Miss Brenda. Shout out to her.
Yo, shout out Miss Brenda,
Mama Brenda. That is what she was, and that is what she is for sure. Yeah. And Mr. Jimbo.
Oh, Mr. Jimbo.
You hear me?
That's your guy.
Poobie was, fam, there's so many legends that's coming back to me. Poobie, man, you know what I'm saying? Poobie with his first step. Poobie was like Timmy Hardaway. He quick step you in it.
The short stubby.
You hear me?
Hit the jump on you.
Real quick. And talking to you.
Yeah.
And running down the court. It was fun.
It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. The fun is missing. The love is missing. You know what I'm saying? The information transfer is missing. You don't have to want to be cool. You should want to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the Minnesota. It happened like that. Double back, went JUCO. I turned my life around, man. I became a student athlete. I went from the 2.1 to 12 on the ACT to Dean's List 3.4. So the maturity. Yeah. And then the environment. Yeah. I'm not around my peers no more of the hometown. I'm around strangers, teammates, people I don't know. So guess what? What do? You got to stand on them 10.
Yeah.
Period.
And everybody doing what they supposed to be doing, so I need to just
one of my dad's saying, handle your business. Ain't too much to talk about, just handle your business, man.
Business.
That's it.
That's what's up, man. So, on that journey, you landed Minnesota. I see you got the hardware. What is that?
These Insight Bowl. So, we went to the Insight Bowl 2 years in a row. 1 year we played Kansas. 1 year we played Iowa State. Now, unfortunately, even if you lose, you still get gifts. Yeah. You still get bread. Yeah. You still get the rings. You still get the outfits.
That's something I didn't know.
Oh, you should know.
I didn't know.
Oh, you get all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get treated like the president.
Oh, okay.
The police escorts and the nice hotels, man, the all-you-can-eat food and, that experience. Well, that was my story has always been trial to triumph because I walked on to the University of Minnesota. I had scholarships out there, but one thing we used to say at Albee Field, hey, I'm going to go D1. That's everybody's dream. I'm going to go D1. I'm going to go D1. So when I got in an environment where there was relationships there and there were other eyes per se, because at that time, Hinesville didn't necessarily have eyes that could get you to the next level in a sense. You see what I'm saying? There was no, hey, I know Coach Johnson over here at Florida State. Man, your grades right, son. You doing right. I'm going to put in that call. Or if your grades not right, let me help you get to a junior college. See, the junior college is the two-way plan to enter into the 4-year plan. So if you're not ready for that per se, you can go and get your AA, knock out your AA, and then now you go into your major after 2 years.
Yeah. I went to JUCO.
Yeah.
I went to Middle Georgia when it was.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to work with Freddie. So when Freddie was coming out, he was going to JUCO. So I remember Will said, man, Freddie going to JUCO. I can't believe. And there was a couple other kids said that, asked me why was he going to JUCO. I was like, well, man, nothing wrong with JUCO, man.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? He's going there to go to the level that he wants to go to, not the level that's trying to choose him right now. He's trying to go to the level he wants to go to, so he's choosing JUCO. So it was like weird to have that conversation, and I was having it with Will when he said to me that, man, I never believed in JUCO until I seen Freddie go to Indiana. And I was like, dang, I just never really.
Well, the information, nobody really knows what's what.
Yeah, I never really realized the kids felt like that until he said that. I was like, wow.
But to
I
me,
never looked at it like that.
Yeah, because Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. says we all have different truths.
Yeah.
In the 4 Agreements book, and to me, JUCO was more of a stepping stone, and it was an opportunity if your grades wasn't the way that they need it to be. Well, hey, let's put you in a smaller environment that's conducive for you to help you get that information. But then at the same time, if I need to meet with you 1v1, I can do that. It's an interpersonal situation. It's not that many people in your class per se, like a lecture hall where you're in there. I think I had like 300, 400 at University of Minnesota.
Yeah, you're in the top row.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes, you know what? Top row, I like to sit in the middle. You see what I'm saying? That way I'm not too close to the professor, but I'm like right there and I can evaluate and observe and still make the notes, but still be out the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that, man. So, I mean, Minnesota, University of Minnesota,
yes, sir.
Man, obviously you did your thing there, you know, and you graduated.
Yes, sir.
You know, now what did you finish with? Like,
I majored in communication and minored in sign language.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Okay, so why did you choose?
And that was my degree. Sign language. To minor in that, that was the easiest language. Bro, I'm not about to learn Russian. No disrespect. German, none of that. I got love for everybody. But to me, and what they told me, that was more complex. So when I sign, I can say, I said, your name what? What's your name? You say, and then you spell, how you spell your name?
K-H-A-R-I.
Huh?
K-H-A-R-I.
K? What else?
H-A-R-I.
A-I?
R-I.
R-I. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That ain't something you can just make up. It's muscle memory. Yeah. So I treated sign language like a playbook. So my teacher was deaf, but I would sit there, I would write my notes, I would look at her, I would evaluate her, make a mental note. I would say, okay, cat. How do I sign that? Okay, cat is going to be 2 fingers to the side of the mouth, and I'm going to go cat. Cat, that's what she's doing. And then I would just go spend time with the tutor, maybe 30 minutes. That's how I memorized and mastered it. And that was only 2 years worth. To be fluent in it, you have to have 4 years worth. Yeah.
That's interesting, man, that you took on sign language for a month. But, you know, that actually is man, you know, like people get paid well to sign for politicians.
Oh man, they get paid. They get cashed out. I didn't take that route with it. However, what I did do with it, currently, I'm a teacher. Okay, I teach at a private school, Robert F. Monroe in Tallahassee, Florida. So I teach trials to triumph, right? I teach AP biology. I teach life science. I teach exercise science, and I teach American Sign Language. And then I am the club lead teacher for philosophy because I've been an avid philosophy reader for 18 plus years. Yeah. It's been one of my tools outside of just, you know, having my own relationship with God that I use to affirm myself. You see what I'm saying? Affirmations are really good. You should affirm yourself, the I ams that I ams. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like a magnet. So it's energy, right? And God says that we have authority and dominion over his universe. So you got to know how to put out that energy and know what to take into your mind. You know what I'm saying? And just, I mean, invest your time in the right stuff that's going to actually feed your soul. Yeah.
So it sounds like, man, like you took your trial and tribulation from high school or what happened then, and you invested into yourself to become a person of educational wealth. Like you making yourself wealthy in education.
To give hope.
Yeah, not just athletics, but wealthy in knowledge.
Hope to serve. Hope to serve. You know, I was an athlete. I was a scholar athlete, but I became a server. You see what I'm saying? The server sense of, it's not about me. I'm not doing this for attention. I'm not doing it for fame either. I'm doing it because I love it. And when you do it, when you love it, it's not a job. Everybody's heard that saying. And then it's a niche. Napoleon Hill says, discover what your niche and your passion is. Once you discover your niche and your passion, well, your gift, right, makes room. So my gift is teaching and my gift is coaching with the training.
So that I'm glad you brought the training up because you started training, what, straight out of college?
As soon as Cedric asked me if I wanted to coach at Lassiter High School, so I started at Lassiter High School in Marietta, Georgia, 7A football, coaching freshman football. I did that for a stint, and then I went to Walton High School, coaching varsity, coaching the DBs, the corners per se. And then I did Hopkins, Minnesota, DB coach. And then now Gaston County, I work more with the DBs per se because my specialty is DBs. And I have defensive coordinator background as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you work with some guys and that went on to other levels.
Oh yeah, I built them.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the grace of God, I've built them. You know, I have Triquez Bridges that's at Oregon right now. He tied Alabama state record, 36 interceptions, 13 pick sixes. You know, that's one guy. I got him in the 11th grade. Didn't know how to backpedal. Didn't know how to, when I say play with the feet, when you lined up, you should be inside shade, right? Inside shade, depending on what coverage we're in. Now, if we're in a cover 2, you should be outside because you're funneling everything inside. But if we man-to-man, or we cover 3 and you like that, right? Because everybody shouldn't play pressed up, unless you like that. You see what I'm saying? We teach little things, little nuances. So B.J. Gibson, he's at the University of South Carolina. David Spalding, he's at the University of South Carolina. Joseph Charleston, that was one of my original guys with Triquez. So these were 2 4-stars I started with. These were 0 stars that became 4 stars. And it was more about the vision, seeing what I saw on tape, just understanding certain things that they just needed to clean up, you know, to get better. They already had a lot of athletes get the opportunities for the tangibles. But then come to find out, a lot of them just have the tangibles, but they don't have the internal being to be a dog.
So you try to bring that out.
Flat out. I only train dogs. Yeah, flat out.
Nothing but the dog in me.
Period. Period. Yeah, period. And that's youth on up, right? It's more with the youth, you got to be more. See, a lot of coaches on the youth league just throw kids in position. You can't do that because you can hurt and mess a kid's trajectory up. So for me, I'm a professional at this point, a professional in the sense of one of my close friends, shout out to him, Jay Johnson. His son played for Florida State, played for the University of Georgia, Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, that's my best friend right there. That's my man, 100 grand all the way. Shout out to Brooklyn. Shout out to the north side of Minneapolis. Great guy. But that's my business partner. So he brought me along. And he's shown me a lot about the sports market. He's shown me a lot about recruiting. He's shown me the ins and the outs, and just, you know, just evaluating the players, being professional. So the assessment is you can get all levels of grades and have kids playing way better. So a lot of times, it's not the kid, it's the coaching.
You are absolutely correct.
You see what I'm saying? So they always say, hey, he's not good enough. Well, hold on, coach. What are you doing in individual time to build him up? Because see, in practice, if y'all at practice for an hour and 30 minutes, I'm just using that as a cap, or high school, 2 hours max, there should be some kind of film study. There should be some kind of study hall. There should be some kind of individual period.
Some type of visualization going to need to be going on.
Well, there's phases to football, so you got to work on all of them. And if you skip a step, right, we're talking about the process, you get what you get.
You get what you get.
So, you know, I've coached, I mean, man, I got gangs of guys, bro. I got about, you know what? Let's pull it up. Let's look. I'm gonna tell you.
You know it's serious when they go to the phone. You know it's serious there.
So I have players at the University of Alabama, University of Georgia, Clemson, Notre Dame, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, South Carolina, Ohio University, North Carolina State, UCLA, Georgia Tech, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Savannah State, East Carolina, Harvard, Howard, Vanderbilt. I even had a young man that, I don't see that on here, Stanford. Not Stanford, Harvard.
Harvard. Yeah. So, hey, man, and the list going to continue to grow.
I just feel like when it's your niche and it's your passion, you can speak like that. You see what I'm saying? Because God opened that arena. I didn't do this. I wasn't a trainer in Hinesville. I just became what we didn't have.
Yeah, exactly.
So I became also a coach. You see what I'm saying? But I'm more insightful because they say knowledge and wisdom is the key principle to understanding life. So I have that knowledge and wisdom, and I can share that to those who are ready for that. You see what I'm saying? And it's not about me. It's just about taking you to the next level. And by sowing those kind of seeds in the unseen, you are blessed because that's between you and God and that individual.
True that, man. So I mean, what's basically like you have like a company with, you know what I'm saying?
We sports management. Me and Jermaine Johnson's dad have that. Jay Johnson. So we have that. So where I'm at right now in Tallahassee, we're creating something new and different, right? I have a first round father here who took his son first round. So you have a lot of parents that are coming that need the knowledge and the wisdom, right? That's a missing component because there's a lot of division that occurs in that process.
Between parents and coaches.
Parents, coaches, and agents, athletes, the whole nine.
Yeah.
And it's a lot that people don't know. You see what I'm saying? So not knowing, then getting put into a situation where that comes fast track. 4 years go by fast, and then what? Oh, Lord, have mercy. Here come the bag.
Yeah.
Here come the bag. It's a whole lot going on. You hear me? A whole lot. So getting in on that side was just graceful as well because it made me more knowledgeable. You see what I'm saying? So, and it gave me more credibility as well. So, I'm always going to be grateful to my dog for extending that to me. You know what I mean? Because that was God sent for sure. And yeah, at the end of the day, you want to be around like-minded individuals. Yeah.
So I mean, I said Dick, he reached out to you, got you kind of started with the coaching, and you started moving. I'm assuming moving around, and then you developed the
well, company. I started at Lassiter, and then like I said, I moved on to Walton High School, and then I took a stint where I was just fooling with the Cam Newton 7v7. So I came on the Cam's team as one of the lead scouts, and I was coaching the back end of the #1 team with Cam. So that's the George Pickens era. So George played for us, Bo Nix played for us, Sam Howell played for us. A lot of different guys played for Cam, and I got to coach those guys. You see what I'm saying? That we see on Saturdays right now. So that was an experience, and then I became a defensive coordinator of my own team with Cam and them, and then I wanted to create a team in Southeast Georgia. So it was a team, we created one down here as well when I was with Cam, based out of Glen Academy area, that down there by Valdosta, and then the following year we made it in Tallahassee.
Yeah, okay.
And so that really was, I did the Cam, but before Cam, I did I Dare You, and I Dare You, AJ Terrell. Like I got to work with AJ when he was a kid in high school at Westlake, so I met AJ when he was younger, and that training regimen also helped me. That was a platform. Shout out to Coach Ford, I Dare You, because in that arena, you had the top trainers in Atlanta. So you had the receiver coaches, the quarterback coaches, the DB coaches. I'm talking about you got 4 of the top DB coaches in Atlanta, all in the same workout, with about 40 DBs, with about 40 receivers, with about 40 linebackers, with about 40 running backs, fam, with about 40 linebackers, no cap. And they all like that. You see what I'm saying?
A lot of information.
A lot of information was passed. And you're talking about back in 2013. So we're talking 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then being able to hold on to those relationships too, from a professional perspective. You see what I'm saying? That matters too. So it was a lot of different things that I gained on my course of being away from the Ville.
Got to get away sometimes, man. To get away to bring it back.
Flat out.
Yeah, you got to get away to bring it back.
Because it's all day. 9-1 Deuce, Liberty County. Flat out, Hinesville. I don't know anything else. That's all I know. My father lives here. He's been living here since 97. That's all I know. You know what I mean? I'm a Georgia boy. Yeah, all the day. All day.
So I mean, what's the grand scheme of things right now, man? Like, as far as it's just, getting these guys equipped mentally, physically.
Well, I'm down in Gaston County right now, so getting back to that high school, Gaston County, high school, the Jaguars, pushing to win a championship. Right now, we got a real talented high school team down there at Gaston County. So what they've been missing is the impartation. So talented individuals, but hungry for the coaching per se. And so with that being said, I mean, this year, man, I'm just trying to help be instrumental in that to help them young men get to where they need to be. Not only that, I'm back in the Ville, first and foremost. So I'm looking forward to doing some special things here as well. My father, he's mayor-elect. You know what I mean? He's a candidate. He's running.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm back to this weekend. We did the Faith in the Blue, you know, downtown. It was real good just to intertwine and just, you know, that's one of my missions, because I want the community to see that, one, people who were raised here care about here first and foremost, and people that went off and got knowledge and wisdom want to bring that knowledge and wisdom to help, right? They say we need a lot of different things in our city.
Yeah, we do.
And
especially for the youth.
For the youth.
Yeah, especially for the youth. We need a lot of different things.
And man, you know, one of my dad's bulletin points is about youth empowerment. And listen to me, it's about empowerment. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't cap on rap. You know, one thing, when I look at the platform, he talks about physical responsibility. You know, how do you be responsible? How do you be mature? How do you meet a Coach Conrad or Conrad and allow your energy to be organic and be respectful, but at the same time, allow there to be a dialogue and an exchange if there needs to be exchange, a positive exchange. You see what I'm saying? You might know something that I don't know. You see what I'm saying? It's like you opening up this platform. This is a platform that you created. And we spoke about this like 2 years ago, I think at Jordan McRae's, I don't forget. You hear me?
Celebrity game.
You hear me? Yeah. Legends. We legends. Yeah. I ain't no celebrity. You get what I'm saying? Hey, we legends. You a legend. I think all of us in life are legends. We all got our own truth.
Yeah, we got our own.
So either you master it or you don't. You see what I'm saying? So it's just about to wake up and just with you around. But, you know, I think that helps. You know, he talks about economic development. Well, financial literacy. You know, how to balance the check, how to understand your money, how to know what to invest in, not invest in. It's okay to go to the Dollar General, man, and spend $1.25 versus spending $3.50 or $5.50. It's the same thing. And then you can get that same name brand over here. That's called balling on a budget.
Yeah. You got to understand.
Have the bag, don't have the bag. Yeah. That's how you keep the bag or get to the bag.
Yeah.
I don't know. You hear me? I'm striving just like everybody.
Yeah.
But the game of it, the knowledge of it, you see what I'm saying? And just veteran support. You know, he talked about veteran support, just supporting the soldiers that passed, you know what I'm saying, that was in the armed forces, but giving back to them. You know, as a young man, all over this United States, I've been a lot of different places. I don't see as much support. You see what I'm saying? A lot, they served. Let's invest back in that. Let's not only invest into our people, our kids, but let's invest in those that went about and they served for us. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just taking time to run through this because it's important. You know, a proactive community. What does that look like? You know, that looks like us coming together, whether we Midway, Gum Branch, Walthamville, Allenhurst, coming together as a united front, saying, hey, how do we come together to help bring peace? How do we come together to help advance the city? Right? Because this is a beautiful city, man. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they keep it clean for
sure. They keep it clean for sure. It got energy here. It got energy. It's just about where you direct that energy, which that energy needs outlets.
Yeah.
Flat out. Yeah. So, yeah, man. So that's really just enhancing the quality of life. I'm here for that, man. And just to give back to my community, man. I love Hinesville. I always will love Hinesville. Hinesville birthed me. Hinesville blessed my soul outside of God because these are my roots.
Yeah, we definitely need to touch these kids, man, because, you know, we barbers. My boy Tom can attest, you know. He's quiet in the back, but I'm pretty sure he's going to say something in a bit.
Yeah.
And you know, we barbers, man, so we...
What's wrong? Hey, you just as important as a teacher. You know why?
Oh yeah, we are.
From a psychological perspective. You know how many people talk to y'all?
Everybody.
So it's an outlet. People don't talk about that. They don't talk about, hey, don't internalize those things. I'm not saying you can talk to everybody per se, but let me give a couple of nuggets. You can get a book and you can journal to get that out of your body, ball it up and throw it away. So now you've released yourself. You see what I'm saying? Or if there's indifferent, have that conversation, be mature enough to be able to come together or have a middleman, a median to be able to help you mediate whatever's going on. So that peace can be transferred. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, exactly, man. So, you know, we touch kids all the time. We correct them on talking to their parents and all kind of ways, and, you know, might even kind of bully them a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I won't say y'all bullying y'all. Y'all standing on their top, and standing on their top mean you just holding them accountable.
Holding them accountable.
That's all.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm gonna touch on something with holding them accountable too. But
Excuse me.
what I've been noticing, man, is and there's been a couple of shootings, a couple of murders around here lately. Young kids, these kids, man, ever since the law changed in the state of Georgia, man, they carrying weapons. Man. There's kids coming in the barbershop, extendo clips. Some of them got AR-15 hammer out book bag, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah, see, I can't. It's just now it's like different because when I grew up here, nobody did that.
Yeah, nobody did that.
And even if somebody didn't get along, it was like, okay, you might know they don't get along, but it never really got to that point where
they was going to get that. They'd probably fight, but you know,
it was hands.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, it was hands. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Broward Institute used to be School of the Hands.
Yeah.
School of the Hands and bomb threads. That's Hinesville. Hook City. You see what I'm saying? But it should be the city of empowerment.
Yeah.
Because we got a lot of electricity here. Yeah. And we just need to transfer.
Yeah, for sure.
That's all.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Yeah. So what I was going to say about getting back, when I heard you say holding people accountable, and just, you know, as an athlete, man, as a trainer, a professional, you know, what I'm saying, you have a business, but you played on that level, and this is kind of off, you know, but it's in there. How do you feel about guys like Deion? You know, what I'm saying, Deion came into and he's holding a guy accountable who's a 5-star, but you know, you got your different views on it. Some people feel like he's doing the guy wrong. Some people feel like he's holding him accountable. He should appreciate that. So what's your view on something like that?
Holding the 5-star accountable or holding your player accountable in general?
They're making the emphasis that he's a 5-star, but it's holding a player.
Man, he's doing what it's supposed to do. One, first and foremost, a parent is trusting you as a head coach to take care of their child. What are you teaching my child? To make excuses or to be a man?
Yeah.
You can't do both.
Can't.
Because then there's confusion. And then what he's doing, I commend him. So what I think about him, well, I've always watched Deion. I've always been a fan of Deion. You know, I think he's one of the greatest, per se. But I also saw him go through trials.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember being a kid and him having that situation with the car, and the car is about to roll off the cliff, but the car shuts off. That was God intervening then for him, because he had already had a predestined life.
Yeah.
And let's look at his history. He started off with the truth, right? Remember that? And then he went to the Under Armour camps. From the Under Armour camps, he went to the Under Armour game. From the Under Armour game, in between with that, he was coaching in Texas because he wanted to coach his sons, right? From there, then he went to Jackson State. Okay, and from Jackson State, we saw what he was already doing in high school. It's no different. They're just different levels.
Yeah.
Okay, you got high school. Well, you got the middle school, then you got the high school, and then at the collegiate, you got young men, and then you got some grown men already.
Yeah.
So all he was doing was taking his own experiences and coaching it up and developing it how it's supposed to be. Because a lot of coaches, you know, being in that arena of being a former Division I player, a lot of coaches at that level don't per se care about you as the individual. They care about the wins and the losses. And a paycheck.
Yeah.
Not the character.
That's the sad part, but you got to lean on assistant coach or something.
Well, you gotta know what you're getting entwined with. You gotta do your homework. You gotta say, okay, academically, I want to go to the top engineering school. What are your top 5 engineering schools? Well, I know one is Georgia Tech. Okay, so academically, I check them off, right? Okay, from an extracurricular side, what's the head coach like? Because you got to go top and then work your way down. You go head coach, you go defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, position coach. And then you look at the players. Tell me, do you see development? Do you see progression? Does it line up to where you want to go? If it lines up to where you want to go and it's going to help you get there, do it. If it does not, don't do it. But the thing about it, don't be Hollywood with it. I've seen players do that too.
Yeah.
They think they already made it, but they ain't made it. And then they try to be Hollywood with people they should be humble with, and then they wonder why the blessing is taken.
Yeah.
Facts.
Trust me, I experienced that one. I experienced that one myself. I mean,
I think everybody has. It's just about you being able to catch the grace that's waiting for you.
Yeah. You got to be able to do that. I mean, I'm gonna let Tone interject because I know he wants.
He just mentioned Deion. I was thinking that when you first started talking, you was articulating how you walk in your faith and in your coaching that you believe in God.
Oh yeah.
And you articulate that. You let it be known. A lot of people are put off by that because Deion talks about it so much, and he's so guarded that they think it's unbelievable that he feels the way. How do you feel about Deion injecting God how he does? Because it's not really done that much. You don't see a lot of these coaches.
Well, it saved his life.
Right. I mean,
wouldn't you reference? It's like your parent. If your parent was, my father was very instrumental. I was in a single parent household. My father did what he was supposed to be doing. So if a person is doing what they're supposed to be doing, why wouldn't you commend that?
Right.
And then if a person went through trials, he went through a trial situation. He was about to kill himself.
Right. But your dad is a tangible person.
Yeah.
He is who he is.
Period.
You with your dad, you know that's my dad. We believe in God.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people.
You believe in it, you can see it too.
I mean, but sometimes if you don't have that strong belief, then you don't see it. A lot of people say they believe in God, they don't see God working in their life until the bad happens to them.
Can I ask a question?
And they come back from it.
Tone?
Yeah.
They don't see him working in their life?
Some people don't see God working in their life.
I can understand that, but if you...
Some people don't see God working in their life. Right?
Hey, true. Right. But I'm up today. That's God working in your life.
No doubt. I mean,
you get what I'm saying? I'm not going against you, but I'm saying, but
people take that for granted.
But you guess what? Gratitude attracts more. So the little that you show for little, you get much more.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if they feel as though, and I'm not knocking them for their feelings because we all have valid feelings, but if you feel as though, try to, because I've been there. I've been in spots where, okay, man, God, I know you real. But what is it that you want me to learn out of this equation? Because it's lessons.
Right.
And then certain things God puts on your path to grow you.
Right.
And you can't grow without that situation.
Right, you're right.
You
need the pain, you need the obstacles.
Pain comes with recompense.
No doubt. And like you were just saying, though, it's knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And without those steps, you're not going to understand.
You're going to be lost like a zombie.
Right.
So I love Deion. I commend him because, again, he went through adversity. He was at his lowest. And he referenced God because that's all he had. He didn't have a man. He didn't have a woman. I thought he said he tried everything. Cars, clothes, jewelry, women. None of it was fulfilling. Right. The only thing is fulfilling is your relationship with God. Right. You see what I'm saying? Right. Especially when you've been through it.
When you get there.
Period.
Because,
it's peace. You're peaceful. Right, I can look at you and tell you he's peaceful.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I told someone the other day, I said, hey, man, I had seen one of the elders from when I was a kid, and I had looked at him. I'm like, oh, man, you look good. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. But I wasn't looking at the outer being. I was looking at the heart, and I was looking at him. So psychologically, he wasn't prepared for that. Right. You see what I'm saying? But when you can see a person and you just see them for who they is, man, that's what you really measure. And then I look at Deion with his heart, what he's giving to these kids, how he's preparing them, how he's opening up and reviving a program that gave him an opportunity. There's a lot of brothers out here that want that opportunity. So I commend him because he's one of the first to actually do it his way, not the corporate way.
Now, to me, I'm 52.
Okay.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Me either. Yeah, me either.
Well, what's going on with Deion right now?
Right.
In the last, I guess I could say, lead up to the last 10 years, or 8 years or so, with the Suns, and like I say, he's coaching the high school, to Jackson, and now this, I've never seen anything like this before. And the attention that he's bringing to this school, and to himself, I've never seen anything like that.
It's godly. Hey, as you say it.
Especially for somebody who's a Hall of Fame
player. Yeah, you never seen that.
You never see a Hall of Fame player have the impact on other players without teaching. The example is one thing. To watch Michael Jordan and you're Kobe and you mimicking Michael Jordan. But for a Hall of Fame player to take a coaching job and have the effect on the players that he's having, I've never seen that either.
He has God in him, just like all of us.
Yeah.
And
right, we all do, but
the favor, right?
Yeah.
I believe the favor that he has on his life, it just has a depth to it.
I mean,
you see what he's
Yeah,
putting
he
in the
is.
work. Well, that's what God honored too. So it goes back to what you said. I want to go back to that notion of some people they're waiting for God to exist. Well, faith without work is dead. God can't show up if you don't put in the work. So if you haven't put in no work, I think you've answered your own question.
I mean, and we had an argument in the shop one time.
Oh yeah.
And I was telling people that God needs man.
Why wouldn't he?
That was my point. That none of God's plans can be fulfilled on earth without men.
Yeah.
Men or women.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say men, I mean
in the sense of you're just saying but you're saying in the sense of just the man in general. They were saying that the man doesn't need to be here per se.
That was kind of the argument.
We need God. God don't need us. But we work together. God and man work together. That people work for the devil all the time.
But hold on, God. It says
the devil can't do anything without.
It says we are His spirit.
Yeah.
So He's working through us.
Through us.
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Right. Through
He looking at people through your lens.
Exactly.
Your cardios, right? Your eye sockets, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It all works together. And I was saying that God,
I believe what you're talking about. Yeah. He needs them. We need each other.
And he's working through Deion right now.
Yeah.
Flat out to bring something new and different, right?
I've never seen it.
But there's coaches like that. You see what I'm saying? I feel like I'm one of those coaches like that. I love what he's doing. And if you can't big up another man receiving his blessings, you'll never get blessings.
Right. See, but there's always guys like you who have the passion, who are there with the kids, who can teach them from their experiences. But like I was saying,
I don't know about that.
Deion is a Hall of Fame player. I mean,
I don't know about that. There ain't always guys doing what I'm doing, bro.
No. There are guys. There are guys who are from the hood, who've had experiences like you, that are bringing that back to the hood.
Well, I ain't really from the hood either, though. I'm from the city. My father was in the military, so I moved around. Okay. But the hood fooled with me. You see what I'm saying? Right, I fooled with the hood.
Well, you went to a hood school.
I guess you could call Bradwood. I guess you could call.
People in the hood go to the Bradwood.
Oh, yeah. They go to Liberty, too.
Right, they go to all the houses,
right? You hear me? Oh, no. Don't leave them out. Look, they might go to Faith Baptist, all Presbyterian, Long County.
Right.
They all over the place.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Right, no doubt about it. So,
yeah.
So you had that hood experience from school.
Oh, yeah, facts. No, don't get me wrong. Now, Walthamville, Allenhurst, Raintree, Schumann was hood. Like, it could exactly. Any day, any moment. Yeah. God, and I had my dad, and I had pillars. You see what I'm saying? Let's get back to that. It's pillars. So there's different people, like what you're saying, that are ram in the bush. Right. So they the person that can speak into your life, whether you can receive it or not. Some people just miss it. Right. You see what I'm saying? So now I get what you're saying.
Later. Yeah. It might be 10 years later, and damn, Coach such and such told me this.
And it just comes to yeah.
And I think we got different messengers.
That's why you got to keep giving it to the kids. No matter if your kids listen or not. In the meantime, you have to still give it to them because it's going to come back to them. It can't click. I don't want to say it will.
That's one of my reference points. I agree with you. That's one of the reference points that me and my guy Jay, we always say. He say, hey, bro, one thing with the kids, you always just have to repeat it. In sign language, that means repeat. So you always have to repeat it over and over. These are kids. Their brain, their prefrontal cortex doesn't develop until they're 25. Exactly. So you can't weigh adult feeling or emotion on a kid. This is a kid. He's 14, 15. She's 16, 15, 17, 18, 19. Athletics are different. Right. So you can't put that unease pressure on them, per se. Because I'm more of a psychological coach. I believe in you tell them the cons, but you tell them the pros. But you love on them too.
Right. You gotta give them everything.
Yeah.
And when you mix it like that, you can do a lot with that individual. They don't have to be a Power 5, Division I athlete, NFL, WNBA, MLB, MLS type person, but you can make them 1% better. Now that is what my track. I could have a Bobby Boucher and make a Bobby Boucher 1% better. I could have a 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 5-star. And make them 1% better. The question is, do they have the humility for it?
Yeah.
Do they have what they don't, what's been lacking a lot moving forward in like this kind of generation per se, the work ethic.
Work ethic. Right. They don't want to work.
Most of these younger people are very entitled.
Well, they want to be Instagram and Twitter famous, TikTok famous. But to me, there's no substance to that. Captions don't, when we get on that court or that hardwood, the captions can't save you.
They don't put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah.
They don't.
Right.
Oh, well,
Gonna put it in.
Hey, or I'm going to pick it off. Or I'm going to train the guy to pick it off because I love DB. So
something that
the
was
offense.
Weird for me to see, like, even when my son was in school, and to see the kids kind of fake like they made it. Like, they'll put stuff up, like, I'm getting recruited by this school.
Oh, yeah, they do the fake offers. We could throw that out there.
Really? Yeah, man, that's wow, man.
Social network, like we had a kid who played football. He wasn't that good. He wasn't bad either. But he wasn't no 5-star recruit. But he made us believe that he was recruited by Penn State. And then later on, we found out that he wasn't. He ended up getting locked up. He did like 15 years.
Wow.
Because he, trying to live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
He trying to rob people.
Yeah. Well, you can't really,
you
can't really fake that. And at the end of the day, I mean, if I don't know the coach, my man's over here knows the coach because, he got up a floor. His son got recruited by everybody in the country.
Right.
So if I per se know this athlete and they cap in the U-tone like that, you be like, hey, Marcus, man, is this kid getting recruited by Florida State? Who?
Hell no.
Nah, he capping. He capping. No, sir, he's not.
That's the new word of the day, capping.
Cap.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot.
That was the weirdest thing for me to see. Taking my own son through the recruiting process, seeing kids post those things, and it's like, oh, and I'm saying it to my son, like, wow, I didn't know he was getting, and my son be looking at me like, Daddy.
It's the attention because it's turned into more of I'm seeking edification because I've never been edified and I like what comes with it.
Right.
See, we going a little deeper.
The attention from my peers versus the truth. It was just weird to me, man, just to see stuff like that. And I don't know, like, do you think that, recruiting in areas affects that, or you just think that's just kids being kids?
Far as them wanting to be a player?
Well, far as them wanting to put out a false offer on social media, that, where anybody can see it.
I think that has to do more with the character.
The character of the person.
Of the person. Yeah, because no coach is going to honor that.
Yeah.
You can't. Matter of fact, let me just say this. When they offer people, well, is it committable?
Yeah.
See, they can offer anybody. They can offer, this is what they can offer 40 people. Out of those 40 people, how many people are actually coming? The numbers have got diced now, right? Alabama can't get all 30 guys. Why? We're in the land of NILs.
Yeah, NILs.
And then people have to do their homework on the NILs because the NIL is more for a long-term play, per se, versus a short-term play because it's your name, image, likeness. So you're talking about your whole entity, your whole entire career, not just when you're coming out of high school or when you're coming into college and coming out of college. Well, I'll give a nugget. Fan base, that's one thing. Community, that's one thing. Then who wants to rock with you? That's another thing. That's 3 different things right there. Those things have to line up, and then you have to line up with what we were just mentioning with you two guys, principalities, ethics, because people don't get behind things
they don't believe in.
That they don't believe in, flat out.
Not to go back to Deion. Things that you never really seen before. Shador. Well, what kind? And speaking of character a second ago, like what kind of character do you need for him to be so as successful as he is, and good as he is, as poised as he is, living in the shadow of his dad?
I would say
that's something that we've never really seen either. The son of a Hall of Famer like that, right?
Well, I don't even think it's the Hall of Famer.
I mean,
right?
As great as Deion, like Deion is widely recognized as the guy at his position.
Well, I feel like my dad is that guy at his position because look at me. So when you have the father, so the relevance is the father. Right. The father is the rudder. He has a son. You have a son?
Yes.
You have a son.
No.
So The son needs the father to be the brother because you're the navigator. So you can't say this kid, when he gets out of high school, go do your own little thing, and then you don't need my guidance. Now, your son needs your guidance for the rest of his life. And by having your guidance, okay, so you say a Hall of Famer. How many years? I don't know per se how many years Deion played, but he played a plethora of years in the NFL, right? He has a plethora of knowledge and wisdom, right? But then not only that, he has access and relationships. I have Tone and I have Conrad, right? Yeah. So I can call both of you. You specialize in O-lineman. You specialize in quarterback. Well, he had private workouts with TB, Tom Brady to go.
Right.
So your father is making those investments. You see what I'm saying? So when you invest in your child like that, your child is going to thrive like that. When you are godly and you about your business, what are you seeing? A representation of the father and the son.
Right, but I still think it's still something that we haven't seen because, I mean.
Oh, you've seen it? You just didn't know it. But from that perspective, on that stage, no. No, you have not. I haven't. I've never seen it. It's God.
No doubt.
Yeah, it's God all the way.
And Shador seems to be handling it all pretty well.
I think he's in quarterbacks and just watching so many quarterbacks. I think my first quarterback I ever really looked at outside of Troy Aikman was Peyton Manning when he was at Tennessee with Peerless Price. And just looking at his poise, he's even keel. He doesn't fold under pressure. I'm evaluating it. You see what I'm saying? I'm not talking from I'm a fan of Deion. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the player. He rises to the occasion in crunch time. It's just unfortunate that their team this is his first year, their first year. Yeah. So Deion inherited what he inherited, and he got what he got, and he brought what he brought. But you still have to get bigger up front, right? We saw that. And that's going to take a little time.
Yeah, it's going to take a little time.
Maybe a year.
Next 2 years.
Yeah, that's it, because he got
Warren
maybe next year. Coming in. It's over with.
Yeah, Warren, then you talking about maybe next year. Because he already got, the most five-star recruits ever?
Well, you got to shout out to Coach Kelly. I know Coach Kelly when, I've worked with his sister, Mincy Kelly, at Lassiter. So he was the DC at Alabama. So when you got a defensive coordinator that was with Coach Saban, one of the GOATs, and you take him, and then you're
get those kids.
Again, it goes back to the fathers. It goes back to the staff. Who's the staff?
The staff.
The best thing Deion probably has done so far
is staff.
Is the staff.
You see what I'm saying?
Great staff together.
And one of his people on his staff was my head coach, Tim Brewster.
Okay.
And that's his associate head coach and tight end coach.
He put a great staff.
He got an excellent staff. I think, what he did with his son, he probably, like you said, father, you got to guide him. He probably looked at his son and said, okay, you a good athlete. You ain't an athlete like me. You smart. You just as smart as I am.
He raw. That's his impact.
Yeah. So let me put you at a different position because you're smart, just as intelligent as I am. You got all the jewels. You got everything. I ain't going to put you in the wrong position, though. I ain't going to try to make you be me.
Hey, guess what?
Right. And that's probably the biggest thing that he's not trying to be his dad.
Yeah.
Why would he? He got his own truth.
Yeah.
But why would you want to be your dad? It's like me trying to be like my dad. My dad has his own truth. His life is his life.
Exactly.
But I support his truth.
Right.
My truth is my truth. Right. He supports my truth. Right. You should never be in comparison of anybody. You should just live what God got because we all got different written stories.
No doubt about it.
You feel me?
All day long.
So you never got to be in the shadow. You should just be walking in what you're supposed to be walking in. Right. Your truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to ask those questions. Being a former D1 player and looking at it, evaluating yourself, and now being that you train and you train guys that's in a high collegiate level, guys that probably potentially go to NFL.
I train my son. I have a son. I have a daughter. I have an 8-year-old daughter, Amina, and I have a son, Marcus Singletary Jr. My son is 7. Right now, we are training. He loves training. We train basketball, football, soccer. I'm not telling him which sport. He's telling me the sport that he wants to go in. The only thing I'm doing is giving him the right energy when I train him. I train him like a young man and a professional. He's a kid, so I don't have to be a stranger. Hey, do this, do this, do this. No, we don't have to do that. You allow kids to be kids. They naturally pick up the movements.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, so you let it be organic. You don't force it, but you work them out because they want that investment. So we done been at Florida State throwing the ball. He running his, circus route. Circus route. He's actually running circus route.
Yeah.
TikTok, I mean, people say a lot of different things, but if you're using it right, you can do a lot. You can grow faster than the norm, too, because it's at your hands.
It's at your hands,
It's like understanding you guys. I mean, I wanted to. I enjoyed it. I liked your interview. I think this is gonna be one of the most viewed because it's organic.
It's organic.
And the energy, the last energy, you could feel it. It's organic. I witnessed him. What he was talking about, we don't know each other per se, 380, but I witnessed him do that. You see what I'm saying? You saw how I referenced that song, that Ville City Funk. That's a real old reference that I just did.
Yeah.
But you never know who's watching you from afar, so that's why you got to be real.
Yeah, you got to be.
You don't know who you're going to inspire. You get what I'm saying? Give hope to. And then by telling your truth. I'm not trying to tell Conrad's truth. I'm not trying to tell Tone's truth.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to speak my truth, but in my truth, we still can coexist with each other.
Yeah, all day long. All day long.
Yeah.
On your path, who's been your biggest influence on your path? Coaches or whomever?
Well, first it would be God. Besides my dad.
Besides both your fathers.
Both of my fathers, I'll say Coach Jesse.
Coach Jesse?
Yeah, he's been one of the most influential people in my lives. 2001, he started the Hinesville Kings. Hinesville. And, man, his mentality was just, hey, kill, seek, and destroy. Flat out. So when you talk about Hinesville, whether it's from Liberty, Midway, Gun Branch, or in the city, I like to reference all of them because we all matter. You see what I'm saying? We always was united, man, and we wanted to put on for Hinesville. That's why it was the Hinesville Kings, because we wanted to know, man, when we played them boys, at that time, Wheeler was really like that.
Yeah, Wheeler High School.
Savannah High was really like that. Now, some of those Atlanta teams had some of them Wheeler guys on there.
Yeah.
I think it was Worldwide Elite. Well, we played them guys, and we gave them the business.
So Jesse that played in that All-Star game?
Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy that you said that. Even the kids love Jesse.
Yeah. All the kids, they've always loved it.
The kids doing the game, the game you referenced earlier.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite player out there? They looked out there and said, Jesse. So Jesse got an impact on a couple of generations.
Yeah, he got a big impact on the kids, especially with basketball, because Jesse, he lived, died, sleep.
He deserved it.
He
deserved it.
Yeah,
man.
He's always been there.
He's a pillar.
Yeah, he was the guy. Like when I first started hooping, people be like, "Man, that's Jesse. Jesse coming to the gym."
Oh yeah,
who's Jesse? I'd be like, "Man, who's Jesse?" And then when he came to the gym. I could just tell he was a hooper. He bow-legged.
Oh yeah,
he got a bag about this big.
Oh yeah,
with, I don't know what all he got in his bag.
Right,
probably 1,000 pair of shoes, knee braces, all whatever he need. He opened the bag up. It's like 4 basketballs in it, right. And he just playing. He just hooping. But he came in the gym like that back in the day when I was younger, like, and he was just always that kind of guy, man. And once he got his opportunity to really give back. Jesse's just a guy who he loves basketball, man.
He does.
He loves it, man.
That's why I always reference him. And then when you think about the individuals that have made it and with their success, I mean, he's been one of those pillars, if not the pillar, to be very extremely instrumental in their success. Flat out. He's been very instrumental in my success. I'll give a shout out to Leonard Hall. You know, that was my coach as well. Donnie Woods. You see what I'm saying? Influences. Pencil. You know what I'm saying? My peers. Whether they play basketball, football, man, they energy. You see what I'm saying? The competitiveness. You know, I can't shout out all of them, but, you know, if they do get to see this, man, my success is their success. We all went D1. Yeah. We all graduated from the University of Minnesota. When I went up there, I didn't say I was from this place, that place. I said I was from Hinesville, the 9-1 Deucer. You see what I'm saying? And you always get the Hinesville.
Yeah, you get that.
Where that at? Come down here playing then. You'll find out where it's at. We ain't far to find. You hear me? So, you know, influences, I would just say Coach Watkins, man, those would be the most inspirational people I would say that really pushed me.
When you were at Bradwell, was Warner there? When you was at Bradwell? Or
yeah, God bless him. He was at Liberty.
He had left already.
Yep. Oh, okay. He was already going to Liberty County High School. Crazy story is my senior year, I'm playing AAU basketball. We make it to nationals. That's when they had Sean Williams. You know, Sean Williams went to Memphis, and he went to the league. You know, we played real basketball. In case people didn't know, Lewis Williams. You know, Lewis was putting up his 30 against us. You know, Coach Jesse talking that trash to Lewis. Lewis pulling from half court. Man, stop it, Coach. Stop talking to this man. Leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone. Leave Super Kid alone. Whatever they used to call him, man. Yeah. But it's just, I get so excited, man, because I just, you know, I walk in gratefulness to Coach because, and I mean, that's just, he's been true. He's been real since day one. He's been my day one guy, flat out. I could call him right now. He gonna pick up. You see what I'm saying? We exchange information with each other. He teaches me training tools, or we talk about, you know, I had a nutritious drink. We have watermelon, lemon, and melon in here. You know, those antioxidants are real good, so you don't have to put something on your stomach when you don't necessarily want to eat because you already giving your body the healthy juices that need to flow through the body. Yeah. So that's really my inspiration, man, outside of my dad and God. I'm not going to sit here and say too many people. You know, Kobe was an inspiration to me. Michael was an inspiration to me. You know, I grew up in real basketball. You know, when the Knicks used to fight with Miami Heat. Oh, yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, when them battles used to be crazy. Legendary, for sure. Stuff, like this situation today, legendary. Flat out.
So, I mean, listen, man, I'm excited to see what you finna do, like, in the future and stuff, because I could hear the enthusiasm, I could hear the, you know what I'm saying, the energy. I could hear all of that in you as far as what you are involved in right now. And I could tell, man, you're going to push far, hard, you know, forward.
Yes, sir.
All of those things. I could just tell, man, like, you know, so you're going to.
I've been waiting. Yeah. It's been part of it. It's needed. Yeah, it's needed. I've been waiting, and this is why I had that 2.1. This is why I had that 12. This is why it's important to fellowship and dialogue with your parents so you can go and be shot in the direction that you're supposed to go. Not be shot in the direction that you ain't supposed to go, then you got to make a U-turn because you didn't want to just go with the flow. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So
that happens now.
It does.
From you know.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that because it's a learning experience.
Period.
It's a learning experience as well. But, you know, that happens. I mean, you know, you're not always, you know, saying, like, speaking as a coach and as a person who had a son a son who is an athlete, you know, they're not going to always follow your full direction.
No.
But at the same time, you got to allow people to find their own way sometimes, or just, you know, come back to you and say, hey, man, you know, this was going on and I thought about something you said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. So, you know, sometimes you just can't, as a parent, I feel like you want to interfere, but you can't interfere all the time. You know what I'm saying? You can't quite interfere all the time. Now, you got the right to, but once a person reaches a certain age and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, you really trying to just guide them and you really hoping that they understand.
You can't make when I say can't, you can, but you can't be God. You got to allow God to be God, and then you got to allow the individual to have their own process, but you can be instrumental as far as the energy that you give that individual and the knowledge that you give them. Then it's on them. Yeah. They can never say that God didn't show up.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Exactly. And I you know, I just think that, you know, it's good to have generations of guys and to see those things evolve. Like,
absolutely.
You're an evolution to a guy like this.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So and when I say that, you're dealing with a totally different sport. But he was a guy who came with that passion, and then you was able to get a chance to be around somebody.
Kill, seek, destroy every time you step on the court.
Yeah, they had that.
Whoever, whatever. Casey Mitchell, he the hottest thing on Southeast Georgia.
Casey Mitchell.
Savannah High, giving everybody 30 pieces. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He gave me a 18 piece on an off night. You know, I know DJ Hollywood looking at this. So I gotta be
real.
Oh, I'm gonna be real. But I remember that night he only got 12.
Yeah.
And there was nobody on this side of the country that could hold him to 12.
Yeah.
I did. Because what was instilled. Come on, fam.
Yeah.
How bad do you want it? And it's not about the talent. It's that dog in your heart. Are you a dog?
Yeah.
Everybody ain't got that dog.
Everybody ain't got that dog, man.
Well, when you starve, see.
They haven't found the dog.
Yeah, they ain't found it.
Well, you know what? I beg to differ. I think they don't want to find the dog because when you sit on the bench, I sat on the bench. Mm-hmm. When you've been a 6-man, I've been a 6-man. When you're the starter, you never forget none of those emotions. Mm-hmm. So when you get your opportunity and you get out that cage, you gonna eat. You gonna eat.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah. And that's what I used to tell kids. They used to get mad at me. I'm like, man, listen, it's a lot you can learn from that bench. And they be like, man, coach, I want to play, man. I hear what you saying, man. I want to play. I'm like, man, listen.
See the game.
Yeah,
see how he attacked.
Yeah.
See how they bend down and they looking at we're going basketball. Let's go basketball real quick. Yeah. Bend down, bend your knees. Look at that one hip. He can't go nowhere without his hip. Even if he going in and out. But where is he going without that hip? It has to turn.
Yeah.
The first step is just a step. Why you gonna go off the first step? He ain't even with no. He hasn't committed.
Yeah. Why you jumping?
Stay in front of him.
Yeah.
Just sit there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes don't even move.
For what?
The best that made some of the best coaches.
Yeah, some of the best coaches.
Because you can see, hey, guess what? You see the whole entire floor from the side.
Yeah, Joker sitting on that bench.
You got the sideline view.
Yeah.
You seeing what's going on?
Now you telling the Joker, hey, you fussing like you the assistant. Hey. I'm like, and you know, I love that, man, because being a point guard, I always taught my kids that. Like I taught every kid kind of like to visualize the game like a point guard.
Use your imagination to form a mental image of something unreal, unseen.
Yeah, even my centers, man. It's like, man, like don't. I'm not finna hold you back, so don't hold yourself back. Don't be no slave to my offense. None of that. Like learn how to navigate through it. And
oh, you coaching the junior? What you coaching?
I coach basketball. I have my own AAU team for a while. Okay. Me and Daryl West had the team, and then he left the program.
Okay.
And I coached several kids. I coached them kids to college. You know what I'm saying? That was a cool.
Oh, you got game, fam. I'll play with you. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I can tell all truths. You got game.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, man, one of my barbers, he hate to hear.
You got game, fam.
Yeah,
you gave people buckets. Yeah. Like you got game. I'm not saying it because I'm in front of you on y'all platform. Nah, fam, you speaking what you are.
Yeah, and I wanted to instill that in kids, man. So I know where you coming from. Like I understand that passion because I have it myself. You know what I'm saying? I have it myself. I just in the position that you're in to be able to make that a profession, like something, you know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To be able to do that, man. Yeah. And
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It can never, you can't, there's no number you could put on coaching, training, being an active father, or being a teacher.
Yeah.
There's no amount, because it's priceless, because what you're doing is you're sowing seeds in people and you raising hope, and it doesn't matter about their ethnicity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I deal with a lot of different individuals, and one thing I will say, being with that military background, it allowed me to be diverse. Mm-hmm. So I can be in any arena and be able to speak, but not have to change who I am, because my foundation that my father gave me was solid.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It'll make or break you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful thing, man. I'm telling you, I coached football one time.
Okay.
One time. And the one time I coached football, of course, my son got a bunch of everybody wanting, oh, bring him to Liberty, bring him to Bradwell.
Right.
It was his first year.
Okay.
But he was a stud. He really should have kept playing football. Kevin Harris hated my son. And I'm just saying, and Kevin, if you're watching, I don't really know Kevin like that.
Right.
But what happened was he was the dominant force in the league. All the kids were scared of him, but it was my son's first year. And he didn't care about nobody. He was always that type of kid. He didn't, I just want to come out there and hit that. I don't really want to play football like that for real.
Yeah, he just wanna football is a releaser.
Yeah.
Okay? And the coach told me one year as a kid, it's legalized violence.
It really is. It's a mini car accident.
Yeah. And we ain't condoning that, but you get to be physical, you get teammates, you get to camaraderie, you get to win games, you get to lose, you get to learn, you get to grow, you get to get better. Mm-hmm. That's life.
Yeah.
If you deal with it too, if you love the game enough, because you got to deal with a 2-day headache.
Yeah.
And you don't have to. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What position you play?
I played tackle.
Oh, you was nasty.
You know, he was inside, so
yeah, I could tell.
Oh
man,
you gonna have a headache.
Right. Right.
You gonna have a 2-day headache.
Yeah, you gonna.
Oh no, you had a mini concussion.
Yeah.
You just didn't know you had baby. If you saw them stars, you had baby concussion protocol. I promise you.
Yeah, you had it.
It wasn't that popular back then.
Nah, you playing through that. Hey, look, man, keep going.
Man, take a.
That's what they used to say. You got your bill.
Take a deep breath.
You hear me?
Take a deep
You hear
breath.
me?
Yeah,
all right, coach.
So that's what I was saying. Like my son, he was coming around the corner playing, and Kevin like was extra physical with him. You know what I'm saying? And he did something only an experienced player would do. Like when he gave him the stiff arm.
Oh, he tried to Derrick Henry him.
Yeah. He pushed.
He got up under the chin strap.
He got up under the chin strap.
Oh, he tried to Greg Jones him.
And then he snapped it down.
Damn.
When he snapped it down, he snapped it back up.
Oh.
Now he choking.
Oh.
My son choking.
Oh, Lord.
And he can't get him how you want to get him.
Oh, you can't, fam. It's over with.
He had him enough for his teammates to
that's all you need. Hey, rally to help.
So he come to the sideline crying.
Oh, Lord.
And, you know, I'm a dad, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, you know, I grew up in Walthamville.
Okay.
Coming from Florida.
Right.
So I grew up out there. So I grew up when it was just crazy. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for things. And I'm just starting to coach. And I don't have a lot of sympathy for crying and stuff like that. So I grab him. Hey, we ain't hearing that.
Oh, but you did right, coach.
Yeah, I said, next time you come around that corner, you give him everything you love.
Oh, you did right, coach. Hey, coach, let me tell you. Hey, boy, you better show up and show out. Hey, look, I used to wait for him to come around that corner. Look, run that jet over here because I was only $140, but I'm coming with force. Yeah. Mean force. And, I mean, when you got a front, we had a front, man. I'm talking about we had Vincent Vance, God bless him. He's a coach up in Roswell, man, O-line coach. He became a big-time O-line coach now, right out of the Ville. You know what I'm saying? Up in Atlanta.
Yeah.
We had big players, but everybody ain't had that want to.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? To get to that ball. You see what I'm saying? So I think that year at corner, I finished 3rd on the team in tackles with 57. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. 57 tackles, 3 interceptions, 1 PBU. I think I took 1 back for 12 yards, and then I had 1 sack. Them stats is good, but no grades, you get nowhere.
Yeah, true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So it canceled itself out. It was a run-on sentence, and so it never could get to where it needed to be. But yeah, man, I mean, in certain situations, sometimes players, I mean, it's an advantage game. You get what I'm saying? So that's why in certain situations, it's like being in practice. You got some players that go extremely, 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 extremely hard. And they practice All-Americans.
Yeah.
And then you got people that go hard in practice like how they supposed to, but then in the game, it's a whole different scenario because games are supposed to be easier than practice. Practices are supposed to feel like games in the sense of your energy, how you're moving around, how you responding, how you recognizing either zones, matchups in basketball, football. What are they in coverage-wise? With the front, what are they running up front? What's the stunts? Or offensively, what is the offense? You see what I'm saying? Is it a spread offense? Is it a running gun type offense? You see what I'm saying? There's different levels to it. So
yeah. So I mean, you know, we can sit here and talk.
Oh man, we love it. This only the first.
Oh yeah.
This is the first of many.
I
promise you. I promise you, fam, because it's organic. It's homegrown. I think what you're doing is you're empowering a community, and you have successful people coming on your platform in their own right, being able to dialogue and share some kind of information and some kind of positive energy that's based out of where? The Ville.
The Ville, yeah. I'm trying to focalize, you know, have that focal point, man. Trying to do those things like that, man. 'Cause I just think it's important, man. Like you have a lot of influences coming out of here, and you know what I'm saying. I've always kind of been about the kids, man. I just you referenced earlier coaching kids that was you know, he might have been here.
Not that good.
And you put him there. I have several coaches, because I was always known as the coach that'll take anybody.
I feel like,
you know,
that means more than you working with a guy that's already like that, because I can look at you. If you can take a kid from ground zero and build that individual up, I'm going to salute you. You know why? Because you got a real investment.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Anybody could be genetically, your son's going to be like that. If you like that, your offspring will be like that if they choose that.
If they choose it, yeah.
But when you're talking about an individual that could take somebody that they don't know, and they could say, hey, man, let me see your back pedal. Okay, your stance not right. It needs to be flat back, nose over toes. All right, heel to toe. That's how, if you're off, man, it should be heel to toe, be at 6 to 7 yards. 6 to 7 allows you to see it. So you look at quarterback, snap eyes back to threats. When you snap eyes back to threats, if you're in a zone per se, number one, go shallow. Are you chasing in cover 3? No, you're just looking at threats. So when something comes back to you, corner route comes back out, cover 3, pick. That's what
So
you see.
you just taught me cover 3.
Well, you got middle field. You got a middle fielder player. Look, you got middle field.
I just learned cover 3.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, we can learn together. That's the thing. Middle field, right? That's what's missing from high school. So when I look at a lot of coaches, it's not per se who's what did they do, and was they like that in college or playing in the NFL. It's more about what's your vision for the kids and what is your IQ.
Yeah.
Because cover 3, middle fielder player, right? You got your linebackers, right? Dropping back in the hook, curl flats, right? Curl flats. You see, or the curl, hook the curl right here. And then cover 3, deep third. Don't let nothing get deeper than you, which means you should be 6'7" in cover 3.
Yeah.
And then rally accordingly.
Boy. Well, as y'all can see, my boy know his stuff.
Oh,
boy.
yeah, for sure.
You ain't playing around, man.
No.
Like you say, first of many, man. So
Yes.
we definitely glad you came on the show,
I
man.
appreciate y'all opening the door.
We not trying to cut it short, but
No, we
you know
good. I think, hey, look, I think they full.
It's like running long. It's
Yeah.
an hour and a half right now.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead. Y'all gonna chop it up.
Yeah, we're gonna chop it
This
up.
could be
man.
we chopped it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Boosie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Our Boosie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our
Like,
boots.
he be on Vlad all the time.
Yeah.
You better be happy.
For real, that's it. Oh, for real. Hey, look, I'm going to openly say that. You know why, fam? Because I love my city, and I love when I. It's like going wherever I'm going. When people see me, it's all love. That's what I'm giving. I have nothing but love in my heart for individuals. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we need to show more unity than anything, and we can do a lot together versus just being in sign language divided. We don't need to do that. You know, we need to be in a united front situation.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
For sure.
So, hey, man, with that being said, man, this is your boy,
Yo.
Conrad, man, MicCheckM.I.A. Like I always say, my boy Tone always lurking in the back.
Yes, sir.
This is my boy Marcus Singleton, man, former Gopher.
Singletary.
Man. Singletary, man. Dang, that's
Hey,
a
let's
direct
edit that
name.
one. Here we go.
Yeah.
Action.
All right, Marcus Singletary.
Yeah, it's your boy.
Hey, and we in here, man, but we about to get out of here. And, man, we definitely going to check back with this guy later, man.
For sure.
Hey, make sure you
Yes,
give
sir.
everybody your information, Twitter handles, whatever.
Okay,
so they can get in contact
shoot.
with you.
Man, my Twitter handle, let me see. Let me look, man, because I be on it.
That way, if there's anybody out there want to reach out to
For sure.
Yeah.
So on Twitter, _breakaway. All right. And then on Instagram, you can find me under _sports31. Marcus Singletary. Okay. You see a picture with me and my daughter, my beautiful daughter. And then that you'll see a lot more about me and my platform per se. I'm not really a Facebook guy.
Yeah.
I'm more of a gram person, you know, just give little tidbits.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Get you.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, yeah. for
Salute.
sure,
Shout
man.
out to the Ville.
Shout out to the Ville, man.
Yeah.
And we out of here.
Liberty County.
Stand up.